Having worked as a dating coach for over 13 years now, I find myself in a pretty incredible position. I get to watch the dating lives of literally thousands of men and women play out before me. I get to see not just how men and women suffer and how they recover, but I get to see what mindsets consistently lead to pain and misery and loneliness in dating, and what mindsets consistently lead to a sense of being loved and belonging. Of course, it isn't just my clients that I learn from. I learn from my own life too. My dating life is filled with ups and downs and important learning moments just like anyone else's. So today, I want to share with you 5 pieces of tough advice that I wish I could go back in time and give to my 16-year-old self, because they would have made all the difference. Number 1, it's not your job to please women. This is probably something most of you are aware of already, but I want to be direct about it. Stop trying to please women. In fact, stop trying to please people in general. Almost all men and women who struggle in dating approach it with the same mindset. How can I make this woman or man like me? What can I do that will please them and thus increase the likelihood that they'll like me? Instead of working out how to please women, first work out how to please yourself. And no, I'm not talking about sexually. Well, not only sexually. I mean, do you enjoy life? Do you have hobbies you like? Do you have friends that you genuinely like? What do you enjoy doing on a day-to-day basis? It's insane how many men and women struggle to really answer these questions. You see, the key to dating truly is to be yourself and work out if that person likes who you are. But so many people are bored by themselves, or worse, they hate their lives, and invest their time working out how to pretend to be the kind of person men and women will like, rather than first learning to become the kind of person they themselves like. So yeah, first become a version of you that you truly like, then worry about dating. If you currently engage in a lot of hobbies the opposite sex is unlikely to enjoy, then find some new hobbies. I mean, we are all capable of finding great enjoyment from a range of activities. Bring in some new things into your life that you genuinely enjoy and that potential partners who are a right fit are also likely to enjoy. I just want to say that I've heard many people say things like, well, I love video games and not many women like video games. Well, most men I've met who play a lot of video games are using them as an escape from life, not simply as a hobby. An escape from life that makes you feel good is not living the life you love. I personally love video games. I mean, there is nothing quite like shooting some 13-year-olds in the head for burning off steam on a Sunday evening. But I have other hobbies in my life too. Number 2, start asking for what you want. Seriously. This is such an obvious statement, but you have absolutely no freaking idea how many dating rules completely ignore this obvious fact of life. Most men and women I work with have a serious issue asking for what they want. Sometimes it pervades many aspects of their lives. Sometimes it just applies to dating and romantic relationships. You have to stop being afraid to ask for what you want and start asking for it directly. I'm not just talking about telling the object of your affection that you would like a date with them. I'm talking about what you want in bed, what you want to have for dinner, what you want romantically, what kind of support you want or need. If I had $1 every time I watched a relationship fall apart because one or both parties were just shithouse and asking for what they really wanted from each other, I'd be buying a nice new TV right now. The last thing I want to say on this point is that no, there is a massive difference between asking someone in a needy way and asking for something because you want it. If I tell a woman I like her, and internally, emotionally, I need her to like me back, she's going to feel it. I can't mask that very well. But if I tell her I like her because I want her, but I'll be okay if she doesn't feel the same way back, it's a completely different story. Most men and women only ever ask for what they want when they've reached the point of desperation. Break that pattern and start asking for what you want the second you realize what it is. By the way, do you know what I want right now? I want you to click that like button below and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. See what I mean? How hard was that? Number 3, Healthy selfishness is a huge turn-on for your romantic partners, even if they complain about it. Do you remember back in the days when we could fly in planes whenever we wanted? I'm sure you do. And do you remember the boring safety announcements they do before takeoff? Who gets oxygen masks first? Adults or children? Damn Skippy. The parents put on their oxygen masks first, then the children. This isn't because we want parents to be cruel. It's because it's hard to be an adult and support your kids when you yourself are panicking and fighting for breath. More lives are saved getting parents breathing first than the other way around. And this is a perfect metaphor for healthy selfishness. We all have needs and wants in life, but from a very young age, we are taught that selflessness is an adult virtue, that sacrifice is a way to demonstrate love. And I certainly think that helping others can be a virtue, and love often requires some degree of sacrifice. But most adults I know have drawn the lines all wrong. Imagine it's a Saturday and a woman you're seeing messages you to see if you want to catch up Sunday afternoon. Sundays for you are usually housework days. You clean your place, you do the shopping and other completely random chores that have been building up over the week. It has been a particularly long and stressful work week. You're really looking forward to sitting back Sunday afternoon and having some alone time so you can recover and be ready for work on Monday. Now, most people are conditioned to think, well, she reached out to me and I don't want to make her feel rejected. So they agree to the date and do without a much needed respite before the Monday. As a result, they start Monday a bit more stressed than normal. And this becomes a cycle in dating, and bit by bit, they forego more and more of their small needs until they're stressed out and don't know why. At some point, this woman is going to need emotional support, and you won't be able to show up because your own emotional plate is already full. Instead, you should be looking after your own needs first, within reason. Explain to her that you need some alone time to unwind before Monday, and be okay with the fact that she's going to be disappointed. Both male and female partners demonstrate a lot more long-term respect and desire for partners who demonstrate an ability to take care of themselves. The important difference between simply being selfish and healthy selfishness is that if on that Saturday the woman mentioned that her dog just died and she really wants someone to be there for her, it would be reasonable to forgo your own needs in this moment and put up with a slightly stressed Monday in exchange for offering much needed support to someone you care about. See? It's always a judgment call, but most people need to be more selfish in the small moments so that they have more emotional energy to be more selfless when it's really needed. Number 4, understand your attachment style and work on it. I've previously made a video about attachment styles that I'll link to above, but the simple version is that many people are walking around with a very unhealthy relationship to love and attachment. They're either too needy and clinging in love, or they're too avoidant and tend to run away from deep emotions. Myself, I grew up with an anxious attachment style, meaning that I was clingy and needy with women as a younger man. Until I worked on this part of myself, I was doomed to constantly be in relationships where it felt like women wanted to get away from me, or they'd feel disgusted by me eventually, or it would feel like they were abusing me or taking advantage of me. It didn't matter who I dated, it would always turn out the same way. There are absolutely no dating rules you can follow that will prevent your attachment style from coming through. Your attachment style will shape the dynamics of all your romantic relationships and all your platonic relationships. Most good therapists know a lot about attachment styles, so if needs be, get some professional support in this area. Just a quick PSA on this topic. Many dating coaches and also ideologies like the Red Pill movement are actually designed to teach anxiously attached men to become avoidantly attached, because if you're avoidant, at least you'll be more likely to get sex. But this is not a long-term solution and still leads to great unhappiness and loneliness in the long term. Number 5, learn to overcome rejection. I mean, just seriously. This is success in anything in life. If you can't overcome your phobia of having people reject you, you'll never have success in anything you do. I'm not just talking about dating here. I'm talking about your career, your friendships, your hobbies, your health even. Many people struggle to lose weight or to put on muscle because These endeavors are very often, they end up being up and down, meaning your progress isn't a linear straight line. Sometimes you eat well for a week and still put on weight. This feels like a rejection and a failure, and our inability to deal with this causes us to give up. Nobody likes getting rejected, but some of us see it as a necessary part of life, while others see it as something that's best avoided. So stop hiding from rejection. Find someone to help you if you need it, but make dealing with this phobia a mission in your life. More and more in my professional life, I am working with clients on these issues because while they're all easy to understand, implementing these rules into our lives can be a bit overwhelming. Don't be afraid to reach out for professional support. Nobody is meant to grow on their own. Feel free to see some of the services we offer in the video description below. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in my future videos.